Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're at Cancer Research Unit in the University of Malta and we're going to be interviewing Professor Godfrey Grech, who is an innovator in cancer research and who is extremely, because we have talked about it, very, very smart. And we're also, if we're very lucky, going to be seeing how to use this, hopefully. So we're going to be interviewing him on careers in cancer research and just preventing cancer in general. Hope you enjoyed the video. So our first question today is going to be, what got you into cancer research and the field?
That's quite an interesting question. Thank you to be here first of all. Okay. When I was a young kid, I always wanted to, I had this intriguing question of what is the code of life. There has to be a code which tells us who we are. Look into the information that will give us interesting results about disease understanding. So I went into this area of what we call today genetics, which is the DNA. So which is the code.
So you were trying to kind of look at genetics and DNA as a code, so you understand it kind of in a way.
Exactly.
That's very interesting how you wanted to see how things work, because when you can see the core in how something works, you can more easily control it and maybe use it to help things. If somebody would like to work to prevent and fight cancer, what kind of professions do work in these labs and help you with your projects?
Okay, so it's a combination of different people. Okay, so you have scientists that actually would work in the lab, then you would have the clinicians that are taking care of patients, you would have people which is from the academic, which at the university, like I do, so we coordinate the whole project. Yeah? Then it depends on the project. If you have a project which is on basic research, like you want to understand the disease, then it's more science oriented. But we have also projects with international collaborators like the World Health Organization, in which we look at the effect of diet on the health of the gut, the intestines, and how that relates to a specific type of cancer, like colorectal cancer.
So it's a giant team of different people. So I understood from this, you don't only work to try and find new ways and better ways and to cure, you also try to prevent. So can you tell us a bit about that?
So understanding what happens at a disease level helps us also to extrapolate that information towards trying to prevent it. Yeah? So understanding that, you can then eventually try to measure specific tests in which you can detect an earlier disease, which is, you have better curage. There you need more sensitive techniques, and there's where technologists will come in, where we actually have good technologies to actually increase the sensitivity of the tests, so that we can use them to prevent the disease.
And what do you mean by sensitivity of the tests?
So then you have to move on from different sources. So when from a patient you take tissues, but from individuals you can take blood. So we have to read what's happening at the tissue level in blood. So you need to have a bigger sensitivity on those tests.
So the sensitivity is kind of like a larger, expand, like you don't only see one thing, you see multiple variables. So you've been talking a lot about having a healthy gut. So can you give some ways to make sure your gut is healthy?
Okay. So when you think about the gut, we're talking about the tube, the stomach, the intestines. Okay, so in the intestines we have also a lot of microbes that are healthy for us, and we have to take care of them. It's like a garden, So you have the garden, you have to make some nice plants and flowers. If you don't water them every day and give them the right nutrients, then they will not have a nice garden. It's the same thing, we have to cultivate our microbes in the gut because they help us and they also reduce and prevent disease. Okay, so the gut, on the other hand, as well. So that means that we have to give the body healthy food. So that's part of the healthy lifestyle. Another thing which is very interesting from the gut is that it has its own nervous system. Okay, it communicates with the brain with one nerve. Okay, but it has its own nervous. And you remember, so like if you're going to do public speaking, you get these butterflies in your stomach, you call them. That's because you get stressed, you get this kind of anxiety because you have to perform well, and when this happens, the gut actually stops working, and that is a problem because we need the gut to work all the time for digestion, and therefore you can start hearing your butterflies in the stomach because it stopped working and it should be working. Okay, so there's also a connection with stress, so it's very important not to to sleep well, to have a nice time for sleeping, etc. So it's important that you also don't have any stress.
So low stress.
Low stress.
Low stress is just good in general for many, many things. Hope you all enjoyed the video and that you have taken something away from this amazing experience learning at these labs.